Okay, so Josh Harris is basically saying the same thing that Dan Snyder was saying back in 1999. But what is making Josh Harris's words seem different and better than Dan Snyder's? Let's talk about it.
After 20 years, you know we back on. No more Snyder, more McLaurin. One forward with the passion, you know we scoring. FedEx field back lit, no it is not boring. John Allen lead the troops, yeah you know we storming. Burgundy and gold in my veins, yeah I bleed that. St. Jude saw the ball, grab a pig, yeah I need that.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another Washington Commanders video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how Josh Harris is saying the same thing that Dan Snyder was saying back in 1999. But what's making Josh Harris's words better and more believable? So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload new content like this to the channel. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Let's get straight into today's video. So, as you saw by the title, Josh Harris is saying the same thing that Dan Snyder was. One, what are you talking about? Basically what I'm saying is, Josh Harris has said some things that Dan Snyder has said when he bought the team. I was a fan of this team. I remember going to RFK. I know that this team hasn't been the best, but I'm here to be, bring it back in the right direction. All the same things Dan Snyder was saying being a fan, growing up as a fan. You know what I'm saying? But what is making Josh Harris's words more believable than Dan Snyder? The reason why I think we believe in Josh Harris more so than we did in Dan Snyder. And obviously when Dan Snyder bought the team in 99, people didn't know who he was at the time, so they definitely was behind him. But they quickly realized that Dan Snyder was a terrible owner and he was not a really good guy, a good human being. The difference with Josh Harris is, although he hasn't owned an NFL team, so we don't know how he is as an NFL owner, he has a lot of businesses and teams he's already owned. So we can kind of gauge, I know it's different sports, but we can kind of gauge the kind of person, the owner he is from what he did with the Sixers, what he did with the Devils. You know? So I think they're saying the same thing because yes, indeed, they grew up as fans of this team. They grew up going to RFK. They grew up rooting for like Josh Harris said and Dan Snyder said, Joe Gibbs and Billy Kibler, or guys like Mark Rippon, or all the old school guys, John Riggins and all that. They grew up watching these guys and rooting for these guys, So yeah, they're saying some similar things, but I believe in Josh Harris because he has proven to have a successful organization in not one but two different sports. Yeah, okay, you could say the San Francisco, or not the San Francisco, the 76ers rather, have not had success in the playoffs and winning the NBA Finals. Cool, whatever. But if you're telling me as a Washington Commanders fan that's coming from out of the realm of darkness of Dan Snyder and not making the playoffs, always picking top 5, top 10 in the NFL draft, or disappointment after disappointment, if you're telling me my new problem is going to be we can't make it out of the second round, sign me up. Sign me up immediately. Now, yes, at some point, not getting out of the second round is going to get boring and tiring and frustrating. But until that time comes, sign me up. If my biggest problem is year in and year out my team cannot make it out of the second round of the playoffs, I want that. I want that problem. I would much rather have that problem than having to worry about sitting through a miserable 3-14 season, 4-13 season, 5-12 season. I don't want that. I'm tired of that. That's all we was on the Dan Snyder. Josh Harris seems like a very good guy. Okay, he doesn't seem like he has any of these weird tactics to him. Now again, I don't know Josh Harris personally, but he seems far from what Dan Snyder was. I mean, come on, guys. We have bleachers at training camp, and we haven't had that in 20 plus years. I mean, this guy Snyder was letting his fans go out there at training camp in the hot, burning sun, having to stand the whole time and watch the team practice. You know, terrible food at the stadium. Trying to finesse his season ticket holders. You know, sewage leakings and rails falling on quarterbacks and players, and so much. The turf, the field was horrible. Not enough like excitement at FedEx Field. He was such a bad owner, and I don't get those kind of vibes from Josh Hurst. Like, although Dan Snyder was a fan of this team growing up, I think Josh Hurst being a fan of this team is different. Because I think when I hear Josh Hurst say he's a fan of this team, and seeing what he done with other teams, it genuinely makes me feel like, alright, he knows what it is to be a fan. He knows what he wants to do, and how this franchise should be ran, right? And he also has 2 other franchises. But not only Josh Hurst himself. Magic Johnson said the first time he talked to Josh Hurst about buying the Washington Commanders, he said, do you want to win? You know what Josh Hurst said? Josh Hurst said, yes. Magic Johnson said, I'm in. Magic Johnson said, I'm in. He said, I don't invest, and I'm quoting this, I don't invest into sports teams for ego. I invest to win championships. He's done it with the Lakers. He's done it with the Dodgers. He's done it with the Sparks. He's done it with everything. Next up is the Washington Commanders. So yes, Josh Hurst is saying a lot of the similar things Dan Snyder has said back in 1999. But why is what Josh Hurst saying having a different effect and feeling than what Dan Snyder saying? I'm curious to hear what you guys got to say. Like, it just feels different. Like, again, the biggest thing I point to is he has already owned multiple sports franchises and had success in both of them. So, it's there. It's out there. It's not like this guy is just Dan Snyder and just randomly wanted to buy his favorite childhood team and he never owned a team. He's already said he's going to put in the people in place to perform. He doesn't give off vibes of, oh, I want to be controlling. Oh, I own this team, so I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to override. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the scouts say. You're going to draft this player. Why? Because I own this team. He doesn't give off none of those kind of vibes. I mean, the guy was at training camp for the first day today. Day 1 was on-field training camp. Day 1 today. Day 2 of on training camp technically, but day 1 on field. He was there. When has Dan Snyder ever shown his face at training camp? Now, I know out of 25 years, he's popped up. But when has he ever been a guy to speak to the team and introduce himself? Just what Josh Hurst did today. I'm telling y'all, man, it's a breath of fresh air that I don't think I've ever was going to see in my lifetime. I'm so thankful for Josh Hurst and Magic Johnson and Mitchell Rouse and everybody else on this ownership, because you saved us. Now, I don't know what the future holds for us Washington Commanders fans. I don't know if a Super Bowl is in our future or not. But all I can say is at least we'll compete year in and year out for that now. Under Dan Snyder, that was never going to happen. So, I don't know how good of an owner Josh Hurst will be, because again, it's different sports. But based off of his success and track record in basketball and in hockey, it seems like we're in good hands. And I'm very excited for not only just this season, but the future. Josh Hurst, before he even came to this team, he's already invested millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars into this team. Before he even bought the team, like before he even stepped foot in Ashburn. I mean, he did what Dan Snyder did. He did something in 4 days that Dan Snyder could do in 24 years. If that doesn't tell you the kind of owner Josh Hurst can be and will be for this team, I don't know what will. So at the end of the day, as the title of this video says, yes, technically, Josh Hurst is saying the same thing Dan Snyder said back in 1999. But although they're saying similar things, for some reason, Josh Harris's seems different. So yeah, there you have it. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. How do you guys feel about today's topic? And answer the question down below. Why do you think, although they're saying similar things, Josh Harris's words feel different and better? I'm interested to hear what you guys got to say. As always, being boy Juan Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe. Hail to the Washington Commanders. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers. Please hit that subscribe button again if you haven't already. Thank you so much. See you guys next time. Come on. Peace.
Burgundy gold in my veins, yeah, I bleed that. St. Jude saw the ball, grab a pig, yeah, I need that. 1999 when it went wrong, but now we gone, it's time to party like it's 99. Chase young off the edge, hey, what's up, 99? The Predator is back, man, that knee is looking fine.